What's interesting to me about hair jigs is they're not really new to walleye fishing. I can remember fishing tournaments back in the 90s when guys were using hair jigs. Some people would ask, well, you got to do a lot of things different with a hair jig than other jigs? No. What you've got to do is very similar to any other deep fishing. You first of all got to be able to feel that bite, and that can be either that as the jig is gliding, that little tick of a walleye sucking it in, or secondly, it can be that mushiness of when you go to lift the jig and it's actually pinned it to the bottom and you just feel the weight of the fish. So you got to feel the bite. Secondly, and real importantly, deep, you got to be able to drive that hook in that fish's mouth. A lot of times we're making long casts, it's deep water, and if you don't move that hook in its mouth and get it punctured through its skin, you're going to lose that fish because they clamp down so hard. So what I like to use is first of all a medium light rod. I'm using a 6'3" rod here, but it's got a fast taper, and that means it's got a lot of backbone in it. So when I set the hook, it's going to drive in. Probably as importantly is I'm using a no stretch line. I'm using a 10-pound nanofill here. I know Dale likes to use a 6-pound Ultra 8. Either one is fine. It's no stretch. Either use the crystal white or you can use the solar color because you got to be able to see these fish. But then real important is because it's such clear water, you do want to put on that 2-foot leader of fluorocarbon. We're using 10-pound test fluorocarbon here. Now, one thing a lot of people don't think about is their reel on this. Obviously you want a lightweight reel, you want something that casts a long way, but what a lot of people don't think about for this deep fishing is you want to crank down that drag pretty heavy so that when you set that hook, you get that hook penetration into that fish's mouth. So high sensitivity to feel the bite, good strength to set the hook, tighter drag to really drive that hook home.